We have now seen that when we come to work with our calculations, it's ideal if we've already created the named ranges. Ideal, however, is a luxury we don't always have. Very often we inherit other people's workbooks and we may find we have to create the named ranges with the calculations already there. What we're going to look at in this video is a tool that can help us do this, and it's called Apply Names. Now let's just have a look at what we did last time. So we came to Total Package and we created a calculation using the cell references rather than a name range because we didn't have a name range. We've now decided that it actually would be a good idea to put that name range in. So I'm going to press enter and I'm now going to name all this package data. Stop for a moment. Can you think what would be the best method or the quickest method? Well, I'm going to suggest create from selection. So let's use that now. Just to remind you quickly, if you can't remember, on the Formulas tab, create from selection is in the defined names group. And when you hover over it, you see the shortcut is Control-Shift-F3. This time, we're going to use the shortcut so you can see how quick it is. Right, so I'm going to click onto P3 to select my heading. Remember, create from selection, you must include the labels. I then press Control-Shift down arrow to select all the data, and then Control-Shift-F3 to select create from selection, and then just press enter. Really quick. All right, let's double check. So I'm going to come to my name box and click the drop down, and there is our new name range, package. So that worked. When I come and check my calculation here, however, it has not replaced the cell references with the name range. Now, while that might seem a little irritating, actually it's a really good thing. There are several situations where we wouldn't want to use an absolute cell reference, and so a named range would not be a good choice. Excel doesn't want to inadvertently break our formulas, so it doesn't automatically replace them. Okay, that's well and good, but to now have to go and manually change every formula could be really slow, and we don't want to do that either. So that's why we use the Apply Name. Now the Apply Name is also in the Defined Names group, but it's slightly hidden. If you come to the Defined Name and click the drop down, it's the second option down. So I'm going to click on that, Apply Names, and it's opened the Apply Names dialog, which gives me a list of all of the named ranges in my workbook. You'll notice that it's picked up package and highlighted it. That's because it's identified there's a range being used in a calculation that is identical to the package range, and it's offering to replace it for us. Now that's exactly what we want, but if we didn't want package, we could unselect it, and if we wanted a different one, we could select it by clicking on it, and you can select multiple ones if you like. We're going to go back to just package, however, and then we're going to click OK. Perfect. It has now replaced those cell references with a much neater and more meaningful word, package. One limitation, though, that you should be aware of is you can only use Apply Names in the same worksheet as the named range. Right, now let's just have a look at one more little feature, just for completeness. The one thing we have not discussed is the use in formula. Now what I'm going to do is just click onto a brand new worksheet. So let's get a brand new worksheet open. And we're going to come to the use in formula and click the drop down. You may remember in the previous video, when we were halfway through creating our calculation and we couldn't remember what the name range was, we pressed F3. Well, this is the alternative. If you don't remember the F3 shortcut, you can always come in here and simply select the name range you want. But what I want to show you is right at the bottom here. It's called Paste Names. And when I click Paste Names, it brings up my Paste Name dialog, but it gives me this option, Paste List. And I'm going to click on that. And what it has done is pasted all my named ranges into my workbook. As our workbooks get more complex, it may become necessary to document them so that other users can understand what's going on. And this is one tool that Excel gives you to help you do this. So this week, we have looked at how to create, manage, and use named ranges. As our calculations get more complex, we're going to need to rely on them more and more. So start making name ranges part of how you use Excel.